We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Good morning, myself Professor Pinkesh Patel from the Electrical Engineering Department. Today I am going through a subject of Basic Electrical Engineering, having a chapter that should be a DC circuit, in which we can study about the different types of parameter related to the DC circuit. Also we can learn about the Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's law, series circuit, parallel circuit. Likewise, many theory that should be a part of the DC circuit. So now we are going for the first question, that is the explain the Ohm's law and its limitation. The statement of the Ohm's law, that is current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied to the conductor provided that no change in the temperature. So if we can consider any conductor, the current flowing through the conductor, that is directly proportional to the voltage without change in the temperature. So this is the graph of change in the current with respect to the change in the voltage. So if the current that should be in the increasing order, the voltage that should be also increases. So this is the mathematical equation for the Ohm's law, V, that is directly proportional to the current. So as a constant we can take the R, resistance. So V is equal to IR, that is the Ohm's law. R is constant, which is called resistance of the conductor. So now we can say R is equal to V by I. Now we are going for the limitations of the Ohm's law. So Ohm's law, which is cannot be applied to the non-linear device like diode, Zener diode, triac, etc. Also it cannot be applied to non-metallic conductor, that is the graphite, conducting polymers, etc. It can also be applied in the constant temperature condition. So this is the regarding to the Ohm's law. Now next one, that should be a state and explain the Kirchhoff's current and voltage law. So in this theory we can going through a KCL as well as KVL. So now we can start with the Kirchhoff's current law. The statement of the Kirchhoff's current law, that the algebraic sum of the current meeting at a junction is 0. That is the statement of the Kirchhoff's current law. So now we can assume any circuit. This is a circuit diagram in which you can assume this is the junction at which there are number of branches are made. The branch number 1, branch number 2 and branch number 3. The current flowing through the branch number 1, which can be indicated by I1 over here. The current flowing through branch number 2, which is considered as a I2, and current flowing through branch number 3, which can be considered as a I3. So whenever we are going through a DC circuit, we have to take some assumptions. Current entering the node, which is considered as a positive sign, whereas current leaving the node, which is considered as a negative sign. So based on this statement, the algebraic sum of the current at a junction, which is equal to 0. So for that we can say summation I is equal to 0. That is the mathematical expression for the KCL. So I1, which is current entering the node, so that's why we have take the positive sign, whereas I2 and I3 which is current leaving the node. So for that we have take the minus sign over here. So that is equal to 0. So try to rearrange the equation. So we can say I1 is equal I1 minus I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. So we can say I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. Or we can say incoming current, that is the outgoing current. So this is regarding to the Kirchhoff's current law. Now same way we are going for the Kirchhoff's voltage law, which is considered as a KVL. The statement of the Kirchhoff's voltage law: the algebraic sum of the voltage around a closed loop must be equal to 0. That is the statement of the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So now for that we can consider this circuit again. If we can consider this closed path, so having a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 parameters that should be connected inside the loop number 1. Suppose we can consider voltage drop across R2, that is the V1, voltage drop across R3, that is V2, V3, V4 and V5 likewise. So summation of all the voltage drop around a closed loop must be equal to 0. So for that we can apply the KVL. Now we are going for the mathematical expression for the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So summation IR plus summation E is equal to 0. So based on the loop we have assumed the clockwise direction. So minus I1 R2 minus I2 R3 minus E2 minus I1 R1 plus E1 is equal to 0. So we can get the answer minus I3 R4 minus I3 R5. This is the equation for the loop number 2, whereas this is the equation for the loop number 1. And based on the requirement we can solve the equation. So Kirchhoff's voltage law, which can be used to find out the current inside the circuit, whereas KCL, which can be used to find out the unknown voltage inside the circuit. Here there is one more resistance that should be indicated over here. So current flowing through the resistance, which can be indicated by I over here. There is one of the properties of the current. Current always flow from higher potential to the lower potential over here. So here positive sign that should be mentioned here. So based on that, current which can be flow from this place to this place. Same way the voltage drop that should be built up across the resistance, which can be given by V is equal to minus IR. So this is regarding to the Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. Now third theory, that is this explains series and parallel combination of resistor. So now we can start with the series combination of resistor. So figure shows the series combination of resistor. So the voltage drop across the R1 that should be V1, voltage drop across R2 which can be indicated by V2. The same current that should be flowing through the circuit, because R1 and R2 that should be connected in the series connection. So we can say I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I. Same current that should be flowing through the R1 as well as R2. Now we can apply the KVL. The algebraic sum of the voltage around a closed loop must be equal to 0. So we can say V1 plus V2 minus V is equal to 0. So we can say V is equal to V1 plus V2. Now we can apply the Ohm's law over here. So V, that is as it is, V1 that should be replaced by IR1 and V2 that should be replaced by IR2, because same current that should be flowing through the circuit. Now I, that should be a common out, R1 plus R2. Now I, that should be go in the denominator term. So V by I, that is equal to R1 plus R2. So V by R, that is the Ohm's law, and for that we have assumed R equivalent. So R equivalent, that is equal to R1 plus R2. So if we have connected the n number of resistance inside the series connection, so for that we can say R equivalent, that is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus up to Rn times. So this is regarding to the series connection of the resistance. The value of equivalent resistance of the series circuit that should be higher than the individual resistance. which means total resistance that should be higher than the individual value of the resistance. Now we are going for the parallel connection of the resistance. So here R1 and R2 that should be connected in the parallel connection. Figure shows the parallel connection of the resistance. The voltage drop across the resistance R1 that should be V1, whereas voltage drop across R2 that should be indicated by V2. But whenever we can go through a parallel connection, so having a value of voltage that should be a same and value of current that should be a different. The current flowing through the R1 which can be indicated by I1, current flowing through R2 which is indicated by I2. So as per KCL, I is equal to I1 plus I2. The algebraic sum of the current is equal to 0. So we can say I is equal to I1 plus I2. Now I1 is equal to I is equal to V by R from the Ohm's law, and having a value of voltage that should be a same. So I is equal to V by R1 plus I2 is equal to V by R2. Now V that should be a common out. So I is equal to V 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. So now I upon V that is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. So we know that Ohm's law, I upon V that is 1 upon R. So for that we have assumed the R equivalent. So 1 upon R equivalent that is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. So if inside the parallel connection having a n number of resistance are connected over there, so we can say 1 upon R equivalent that is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 plus up to 1 upon Rn. So this is regarding to the parallel connection of the resistance. There is one more statement. The value of the equivalent resistance of parallel circuit is smaller than the smallest value of the individual resistance of the circuit, which means total equivalent resistance that should be a smaller than the individual value of the resistance inside the parallel connection. So this is the regarding to series connection and parallel connection of the resistance. If having a question, that is the differentiate the series connection of the resistance and parallel connection of the resistance, so we can write like in this manner. Thank you.